So friends, there are, broadly speaking, there are three stages of self-healing process. The first stage is the identification. The identification, the moment you identify what is the root cause of the problem, then 50% of the problem is already solved. Then there is a second stage. So after you identify the problem, how do you deal with the problem? So what you need to do to resolve that problem. So that is the second stage, that is the processing. Now the third stage is integration. Integration means your ability to understand what is the lesson to learn through this particular situation. You have gone through a challenge, you have identified the challenge and you have processed it. And finally, the integration is why it has happened to you and what is the lesson to learn. And you are integrating that lesson in your day-to-day life. So that is the third process, my dear friends. And for the integration to happen, meditation is very, very, very essential. So these are the three stages of the self-healing process. So we'll be going through in detail all about it. Again, in the healing, it's not only the physical healing. So along with physical healing, there is an emotional healing and there is a psychological healing. So healing means not only with the body, it should be holistic, physical, emotional, and psychological. So we are going to look into all those three aspects, my dear friends. So the first stage I said is identification, and the second stage is the processing. The third stage is integration. So I'll come back to this very frequently. We'll discuss all these three aspects very frequently in our the sessions going forward. So there's something interesting we need to understand about our chakras. So what are chakras? Chakras are nothing but energy turbines. Chakras are nothing but energy turbines within our etheric body. So wherever there is a major crisscrossing, of all the energy tubes, so there is a chakra. It's like an energy turbine. And we have seven major chakras. So that means we have seven major energy junction points. So what does a chakra do? A chakra is an organizer, is an organizing center of energy. So it receives the energy, it processes the energy, and it transmutes the energy. So that is a very basic function of a chakra. So again, I repeat, chakras are organizing centers of energy. So it receives the energy, it processes the energy, and also it transmutes the energy. Now, if there is a block in that turbine, then the reception will be a problem, the processing will be a problem, the transmission will be a problem. So that's when there is a block of energy, we cannot receive it correctly, we cannot process it correctly, and then we cannot transmute it perfectly. So that's when our physical, emotional, psychological blocks happen. And so to understand the root cause of it, we have to understand a little bit of the chakra system. And each chakra, as I said, there are seven major chakras, and each chakra is related to a specific function. Each chakra is related to a specific function. And each chakra has an energy which blocks the energy flow. So there are certain aspects to each chakra which blocks it. So we go through that one by one. So there are seven major chakras, my dear friends. So these are the English words. The Sanskrit words are Swadhisthana, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraka, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agna, and Sahasrara. So these are the seven Sanskrit words. Now, how do we understand our chakras? How do we know that our chakras are in balance, or how do we know our chakras are not in balance? How do we understand the chakras? Should we go to a healer and ask them, how is our chakras? No, that's not the way. Of course, certain people has some gift to see your chakras, but they have the gift to see your chakras. That doesn't help you, because only when you see what is the state of your chakra, then you will be understand, okay, so this is the area I need to work on. Okay, so this is what I need to do. So understanding your own chakra system is very much helpful to see what is the root cause of the issues and to see how to work on it, and also to understand what is the soul lesson. So understanding the chakra system, in understanding your own chakra system, literally means you are working on yourself. You are in the process of self-realization. You are in the process of enlightenment. As simple as that, my dear friends. So how do we understand our chakras? Through the pattern analysis. So what is pattern analysis? Pattern. When something keeps repeating again and again, then we say it is a pattern. So when we do the pattern analysis, then we understand a lot about ourselves. So the pattern analysis of our body, like what is the body shape we have, whether we are underweight, whether we are overweight, obese, or, does we have any chronic illness? These are all the pattern analysis we do with our physical body. So our illness says something to us. Our body shape says something to us, and the behavior. So the pattern analysis of your behavior. How are your thoughts? How are your feelings? And how do you cope? What is your coping strategy? So how do you cope your challenges? When there is a challenge in your life, we all have challenges in life, my dear friends. Every single person has challenges. So how do you cope your challenges? So what is your strategy? So you have to see the pattern. The more you see the pattern, the more you understand about yourself. And also the environment. What kind of a family you are born into, what kind of surroundings you have, what kind of friends you have, what kind of job you have manifested. So something around you, what is your surroundings, what is around you, that also speaks a lot about your own self. So through this pattern analysis, definitely you can understand your own self, your own chakra system. And we go through a lot of negative life experiences. The very nature of life is to throw challenges at us, because as I told you beginning, we have designed it for our own soul evolution. So these negative life experiences contribute towards a particular, why we behave in a particular way, why we speak in a particular way, how we handle the challenges. It all depends on the negative life experiences we go through. So it's like contributing to our own the pattern, how we react in a certain way depends on what negative life experiences we have gone through. So some of the negative life experiences are the social programming, the cultural conditioning and childhood traumas and limited belief systems and physical injuries you have, emotional wounds, oppressive environments and lack of attention. So it's all interrelated. So if you have a lack of attention from your childhood, then your emotions are blocked. If your emotions are blocked, then your behavior is changed. If your behavior is changed, then you attract a certain reality in the surroundings. So everything is linked with everything. So if you want to understand your own self, see, you are not just a body. You are a body, emotions, feelings, everything. You are all put together. So you have to understand in a holistic way. So understanding in a holistic way means understanding the root cause, understanding what you need to do, and understanding how you need to learn the lessons and how to integrate the lessons and how to become an empowered person. The more you integrate the lessons, the more you are an expanded consciousness, the more you grow. So for all the negative life experiences we have, it affects our chakra system, it affects our nadi system, it affects our energy tubes, it affects our etheric body. So these negative life experiences affects our energy body. And how do you cope with all the challenges? So what is the strategy you are having to cope your challenges? Some people, they have the strategy to fight. Whatever might be the situation, they keep on going on the fight mode. So when you are going into the fight mode, then you're putting too much life force energy, you're putting too much life force energy into that particular challenge. So when you're putting too much life force energy into that challenge, then the chakra becomes dense, then it becomes excessive. So when the energy is excessive, then also the energy movement is not there. Just imagine a traffic. There is a junction, there is a 6-road junction, and when there is too much traffic, then the junction, you cannot make sure the cars are going, because there are too much of cars in the junction. So there is a traffic jam. So too many cars creates a traffic jam. So similarly, if you're putting too much energy, if you're putting in too much attention towards solving a particular problem, then the chakra becomes tense. I'll give you an example. For example, if you're having a financial issue, right? So you're having a financial issue, and how do you deal with that challenge? How do you cope with that challenge? There are many, many choices, but what choice you are going to use? You can do you can do one job morning till evening, and you can do another job evening to night. So, and you can do a third job. So you can do three jobs, one full-time job and two part-time jobs. So when you do this job, of course, yes, you are going to earn some money and you're going to solve your financial problems. That is there. But is it a healthy way? Is it a healthy way to address that issue? So if you're going to do three jobs, then what happens? Your personal life will be in trouble. The time you spend with your wife, the time you spend with your children, the time you spend for yourself reduces very drastically. So when there is no quality time between you, yourself, and between you and the family, then there is a lot of emotional turmoil within the family and within yourself. So this is not a healthy way to deal with it. So this chakra, this one excessive in one chakra affects the other chakras also. So you need to have a balanced view. So anything you do in excess of it, it is not healthy. And at the same time, how do you cope your challenges? Some people, they say, oh, this is too challenging, I better avoid it. So they escape the life problems, they escape the life challenges, they run away. So when they run away from the problems, what is happening? The energy in the chakra becomes very, very deficient. There is no energy because you are running away. So there's literally no energy. When there is no energy, then the energy cannot uh, pass through the chakra systems. So then again, the chakra becomes empty and useless, and still that is not a very healthy coping strategy, because whenever you escape from your problems, you are not finding solution, you are just postponing the problems, and also you are contributing more to the problem whenever you are escaping the problem. So we need to understand, my dear friends, there is something called a healthy coping strategy. For all the challenges we have, there should be a very healthy coping strategy. There should not be too much excessive, and you should not also avoid the problems. How to have the healthy coping strategy is what we are going to speak all along this topic. And if you have a chakra imbalance, sometimes it can be excessive and other times it can be deficient. So a chakra can be both excessive and deficient at the same time. It is like a pendulum, you know, the pendulum goes to the extreme right and then you leave it and again it goes to the extreme left. So it should not be excessive or deficient. If it is excessive, it goes back into deficient. If it's deficient, it goes back into excessive. So it swings in both these extremes before you can balance it. So you have to make sure that it's always a balance and a middle path in all the approach we have towards our life. So that's why the Buddha called a golden middle path. If you don't emphasize, if you don't understand the golden middle path, then it's very difficult. You will be in both the extremes, and both the extremes you will be teared apart. That is not a healthy coping strategy. So first, let us go through the root chakra, the Muladhara. So each chakra is associated with certain qualities, right? So the root chakra, the Muladhara, is associated with your physical survival. Anything to do with your survival, anything to do with your well-being of your own well-being on the planet Earth, your physical well-being, it relates to your root chakra, which is Muladhara. Mula means root, Adhara means support. So this chakra is the root support for your existence on the planet Earth. If this chakra is not in balance, then you don't feel safe and you will have a lot of fear energies, and it is a very bad situation to be in. And in generally, friends, most of the people on the planet Earth, they have the first three chakras, you know, the Muladhara, the Swadhisthana, and the Manipuraka. These three chakras relates to the physical aspect of yourself. So most of the people on the humanity, they have these three chakras imbalanced. So once you have these three chakra in imbalance, all the rest of the seven chakras are by default in imbalance. So the first chakra deals with the energy called fear. So each chakra has its own demon. A demon is a negative energy, right? So the root chakra is associated with the energy fear. So how do you work on it? We all know that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Yes, you cannot simply remove the fear and throw out. It is not possible. So then how do you deal with it? So you cannot destroy the fear, but you can transform the fear energy. So how do you transform the fear energy? And when the fear energy is transformed, what is that energy you will have? See, we all have that fear energy within us, right? So how are we going to transform the fear energy? And once the energy is transformed, what will be the energy like? So the opposite energy of fear is trust. You see, the more you have trust in life, the less you have fears. And once you see, the trust is a process. It's not like, it's not a one time process. It's a constant work in progress. That's why you can see the image there. It's like a building blocks, they are building, it's a constant work in progress. So the one thing you need to understand is trust is something which is a constant work in progress. It is not like you sit in meditation one day and then you have all the trust in life and you don't need to worry about it. No, the fears do come again and again and again. And how are we going to handle the fears is constantly building on the trust factor. So that is the opposite energy. So now let us see what are the root causes, what are the possible root causes of this fear energy. So if you want to understand the root chakra, then you have to understand the fear energy. And it is very interesting. The energy, the very fear energy, it is not real. If you see the very fear energy, it is not real. It is an illusion. The very energy of fear is an illusion. Based on certain incidents, based on certain negative incidents, you go through a shock, you go through a fear, and then you program your mind that, oh, that's going to happen again, that's going to happen again. So that programming of your negative experience, that expectation that it's going to happen again, is the fear factor. But there is no substance that, yes, once you have gone through a negative experience, it's not the case that every single time you have to go through the same experience. No, but the fear energy makes you believe you're going to have it again and again. And when you have the fear energy, it's all over your body. The fear is not in your head. The fear is all over your body. The whole body shakes. We all have memory. The body cells have the memory, and this fear energy goes into that memory, and your whole body shakes. And so you have to understand the fear is an illusion. So the more you understand that the fear is an illusion, then there is a hope. Oh, okay. So if it is an illusion, then okay. So how am I going to work on it? So then you're going to break that illusion. So let me go further and see what are the root cause of some of the root causes. It starts from your mother's womb. Sometimes, your unwanted pregnancy or any birth traumas, any kind of birth traumas you go through. This also, the baby absorbs this energies, the trauma, and also unwanted, because if the parents don't want a child and it's an unwanted pregnancy, the child can sense, the child don't feel welcomed, the child don't feel belonged. So then that fear energy sweeps through while the child is in the mother's womb. And also, as a child, whenever you are going through a lot of neglect and abandonment, any kind of action which makes the child feel unwanted, for example, it can be your punishment from the parents, it can be a divorce, or it can be a death of a loved one in the family, or some constant illness which is happening within the family, so etc. So any kind of neglect and abandonment causes the child to feel, oh, this planet Earth is not safe for me, I'm not feeling safe, I'm feeling very much fearful, because I don't feel protected, I don't feel safe, because the loved ones are not around us, protecting us, taking care of us. So the child goes through this fear energy because of this. And also the nourishment. Like, not all the families have a very healthy economy. They not all are well to do. Some people, they have very limited resources, and some families, they have too many children and the food is rationed. So the food denied, the child also goes through this trauma. Oh, I don't have sufficient food. I don't have much food to eat. So that also, that will be the root cause of the fear energy to sweep through. And also the food of the food, the manipulation, the forced or manipulation. It is common in the Indian families that the parents say, okay, so you finish the homework, then you will have this food. Or they say, okay, after you eat this food, then you're allowed to play. So there is a lot of manipulation. So the parents, they relate the food habits with what they expect the child to do. So this is a manipulation. This is the manipulation. So in the child's psyche, this manipulation of the food happens, and this also becomes one of the root cause. Either it is force feeding. Force feeding means the child is not hungry, but still the mother is forcing to eat food. So that, and also manipulation. Manipulation means only when you when you eat the food, you are allowed to go and play. Or in other words, only when you do the homework you can come and eat. Only when you do well in the studies, I will buy you what you want. So these are all manipulation. And the other important aspect when it comes to nourishment is the food of pain and suffering. So the food of pain and suffering is the food we get from a lot of violence, killing, and all the killing and the butchering of the animals. So that is the food of the pain and suffering. So when you eat that food of pain and suffering, the animal goes through a lot of fear. So the animal doesn't die happily. The animal doesn't say, kill me happily. No, the animal goes through a lot of fear. So when you consume that food, then you are putting in more fear energy in your system. So that also affects your root chakra immediately. And physical abuse. As we discussed, this chakra deals with your physical well-being. So any kind of physical punishments, any kind of physical punishments definitely affects the root chakra, because the child is helpless. The child, you see, the child has come to the planet Earth with the understanding that the parents are going to protect them, the parents are going to take care of them. But if the very parents who are supposed to take care of them, if they are punishing, physically abusing, then the child loses the trust. When the child loses the trust, then there is a lot of fear energy which sweeps in through. And then the more and more the child is going through this abusive things, then there is a mind-body split. What is a mind body split? A mind body split is something like the body is feeling a lot of abuse, then the mind chooses to detach from the body feelings because it is too painful. It is too painful. The child is going through the punishment. So the child programs the mind to split away from that pain. So because of this mind body split, when they grow up, they cannot connect with their own self. They cannot connect with their own bodies. They cannot connect with what they want in life. So this mind body split happens. And a lot of adults, they go through this confusion. They don't know what they want. Sometimes you ask somebody like, what kind of food you want. They say, any food. They don't have very specific, I want this, I want that. They don't identify with what they like, what they don't like, what they want in life, what they don't want in life. It's all because of this mind body split which the child goes through. So the physical abuse greatly damage the root chakra because the trust is gone. And once the trust is gone, by default, the fear energy sweeps through. And also the parents, uh, unconsciously, they pass on their fears and insecurities to the children. So how they do it, for example, you're sitting on a dining table, and when you're having your breakfast or lunch or dinner, the parents are speaking about the economy, the parents are speaking about the recession, the parents are speaking about the pandemic, and they are speaking, they are discussing. It might seems like they're just having a honest discussion, but the children can pick up the negative uh, fear energy. The children can pick up the fear energy from the parents. So that becomes the programming of the child. So that affects the child to a great extent. So some of the qualities. So now we have seen what are some of the root causes of why this fear energy sweeps into our system. So let us see the deficient qualities. For a person who has a deficient chakra, what are the qualities a person normally has? So number one, he will have poor grooming and hygiene. So he doesn't take care of himself, and his hygiene is very, very low. And notably underweight, they are very thin. So deficient means there is very little energy in that chakra. And they are very fearful, they are very restless, and they are very, very anxious. And they have the tendency to escape the demands of life, and they are not practical, they are not grounded, they live in their head, you know. They don't do the necessary hard work, and they just think that they are going to be a successful person one day, and they're going to be they're going to own a business, and they're going to do this. One day they'll get enlightened, and they're going to do this. So they live in their daydreams, but they don't put in the necessary effort. They don't put in the necessary effort. They always think in the head, and they fantasize a lot of things. Most of the people who fantasize a lot of things, their root chakra is very much deficient. And also they have a very poor focus. They cannot concentrate on the things. They have a very poor focus, and they lack discipline. These are the people, even if they want to do meditation, they have the desire to do meditation, but they don't have the seriousness to do meditation because they don't have the discipline to make sure they do meditation every day. So the people with this deficient chakra, they cannot achieve whatever they want in life. And they're very disorganized. You know, you see their work tables, or you see their houses, everything is disorganized, everything is clumsy. There is no proper organization. So they create a mess for themselves. And also they go through a lot of financial difficulties because there's very little energy, and they escape the very reality of life. Because they escape the very reality of life, very naturally they end up in financial difficulties. So these are all some of the qualities of a person who has a deficient root chakra. And let us discuss some of the qualities for a person who is excessive. Excessive means he is putting too much energy into certain aspects of his challenges. So a person with excessive root chakra, he's very much, he likes to be routine. You know, he doesn't like any change. His whole life, he gets up morning in the 6 o'clock and he sleeps at 9 o'clock. He doesn't resist. He doesn't have any openness to try new things in life. He likes routine. He's like in a box, fixed. And he's a person who goes into a lot of material obsession, hoarding, and he becomes greedy. All the people who accumulate more and more and more wealth, why do they accumulate wealth? Why do they have so much interest? Because of the fear. Because they fear tomorrow something might happen, so they need to save today. So because of that fear energy, people become greedy. The greed is something which comes because of the fear. So when they have too much fear, when they put too much emphasis on that, then naturally they become greedy. And also, just think about it. If the fear energy is not there, the entire insurance industry is going to collapse. The insurance industry is surviving only because of the fear. If fear is not there, then the entire insurance industry collapses. Once the insurance industry collapses, the banking system collapses, the financial system collapses. So it's all a chain. The whole of the humanities on the planet Earth is suffering because of this fear energy. And the other quality of this excessive is obesity. You know, people, they are obese, they are too much of weight, they are very heavy, they feel very heavy, and they overeat, they constantly overeat. Because they overeat because they fear tomorrow the food may not be there. Because in their childhood, they have gone through the food scarcity, and they think, if I eat more, then I'm preserving myself for tomorrow. So that is again a fear. And these are the people who are driven towards financial achievements. So driven towards financial achievements means their only focus is survival. Their only focus is money. So they will not do any work for out of joy. They will not do any work out of passion. They do because it gives them money. Money is the factor for them. For anything in their life, money is a major factor. And these people, they have very rigid boundaries. They are not open to anything. They are not open to spirituality. They are not open to metaphysical things. And they are not open to the greater possibilities. So if somebody is in the spiritual path, if somebody is open, and if somebody is open to experiment, to try, definitely they are not in excessive. Probably they might be in deficient. So the people with excessive, they are not open to the spiritual aspects of life. And these people, they are lazy, and most of the time they are very tired. There is no life force in their eyes. They are very tired, sluggish. So these are the qualities of an excessive person. And again, friends, as I told you, there might be qualities which are excessive, and there might be qualities which are deficient, both. As I told you in the beginning, the chakra can be both excessive and deficient. It's also possible. And what are the balanced characteristics? How will a person be if he has a very balanced root chakra? So basically, he will be very independent, and he will be self-sufficient. So there is a basic independence. Like, he will not be dependent on anybody. There won't be any people attachment. He will not depend on anybody for all his work. He will have a basic sense of independence and self-sufficiency. So he's completely self-sufficient with whatever he has. And he has a perfect planning. He's in the middle path. He doesn't depend on others. At the same time, he doesn't hoard himself. Whatever he wants, he will keep for himself, and with that self-sufficiency, he will focus on the greater aspects of life. And a sense of insecurity. So some people, they have a lot of insecurities. They have the fear of survival, they have the fear of relationships, they have the fear of abandonment, they have the fear of judgment, and they have the fear of love, and they have the fear of every possible fear. So there is a deeper insecurity. So this is all because of the imbalance. But for a person who has the balanced characteristics, there is an inner security. Whatever might be the outer circumstances, his inner is always feeling secure, and he trusts life. Whatever happens, he trusts that it happens for good. There is no complaint. For a person who complains, that means he doesn't trust life. A person who doesn't complain, that means he trusts life. He trusts everything is fine. Whatever happens, happens for good. So the more you trust, the more you are in a balanced chakra. And this person takes a very good care of himself. He takes care of his body, he takes care of his emotions, he takes care of every good care of all the aspects. And he feels very, very safe, and he feels grounded, and he lives in the present moment. Every single moment, he is in the present moment. He is very grounded, he is very practical, and he's a balanced person. So these are the qualities of a balanced root chakra. Now let us go through some of the aspects. So these are the things you need to ask yourself, my dear friends. So this helps in identification process. So what are these are the questions you should ask yourself. So the first question is, when it relates to money and prosperity, what is your saving pattern? So when it comes to a saving pattern, what is your pattern? Do you save too much because of your fear, or you just save whatever is needed? Or what is your attitude towards your bills and expenses when you receive an electricity bill, or any bill which is exponentially high? How will you react to that bill? Are you reacting out of shock, or you are balanced, calm, and composed? Like expenses, how do you deal with the expenses? Do you see the expenses as something which is not needed in life, or you see the expenses as something which empowers you to move forward in life? How do you see the expenses in your life? And do you worry about retirements? Do you have the worry that what will happen after you retire? Are you anxious about economy? How is the economy doing? The stock market crashing? How is going to be the economy of this country? Are you worried about it? Do you gamble? Is there a thought? Is there a thinking you have that I should earn very quick money? I should just quickly earn money, and you are putting in some pony schemes, and then you are trying to put in some banks or private investments which promises more returns. So you're buying lottery tickets. You are focusing on shortcut. In shortest time, you want to earn a lot of money. That is gambling. So are you involving in gambling? Such kind of activities. And what is your attitude? What is your attitude towards your possessions, like your house, your property, your family, your furniture? Sorry, not your family, your family property. So what that means, like you have more property and you feel very good, and you don't have property, you don't feel good. So what is your attitude about materialistic possessions? So this is some of the questions you need to ask, and these questions help you to understand whether what are the areas you need to work on. And the second issue is career. So how do you deal with your career? You're constantly thinking about making more money in your jobs. You constantly keeping on hopping to other jobs, which gives you more money, or you are focused on promotions. Your very idea of doing the job is to get promotions. And so, in other words, rather than focusing on the job satisfaction, you are focused on promotions and money. And so do you get laid off by the companies? So do you have this fear, oh, this company is downsizing, so I might get laid off. If I get laid off, what will I do? So these are all the fear energies which are affecting you. If you don't have this fear energy, you are least bothered. Whatever happens, you'll say, okay, if this company is not laying me off, I will find a better job. So that is an attitude of a person who has trust in life. But for a person who goes through this, who gets affected with the company layoffs, that means there is a fear energy. You need to work on it. So again, would you sacrifice unsatisfying? Would you sacrifice? Again, it boils down to what is your priority? Like, there is a job, you are enjoying the job, but there is another offer which pays you more money, but you don't enjoy the job. So which one you choose? So your choices tells a lot about your attitude towards the fear energy. And again, when it comes to, because this chakra deals with the physical well-being. So the first chakra is the Muladhara. So it's the fundamental support for your existence. So how do you take your body needs, and what are the limitations you have? So do you have the habit of overeating when you are not hungry? Some people, they simply eat time to time. They eat in this time, they eat in that. They don't connect with the body. Like, I'm feeling hungry, I want to eat. No, they just simply have the habit of eating. So that is not a healthy sign. And can you tell when you are hungry? Some people don't know when they are hungry, and some people don't know when they are full, because they are not connected to their own self. They're not connected to their own body, because the physical well-being is not taken care. And some people, they have the habit of skipping the meals. They, even though they are hungry and they are just not sensitive to their body, they just focus on working. So some people, they really have this habit of work, but they are not sensitive to their body. Again, there is the issue with the root chakra. Or do you sacrifice food for others, especially the mothers in India? They have this tendency. They are happy to sacrifice their food to others, to feed their relatives or to feed the guest or something. They sacrifice. That is not a healthy thing. So constantly sacrificing, once in a while, it's okay, depending on the situation. But if that is your nature, you constantly sacrifice your food so that you make sure others are well fed, that is not a healthy sign. So you are not taking care of yourself, but you're focusing on others. That is not a healthy sign. Or the other quality, do you force others to eat? Right? Your child is not eating. Are you respecting the child's wish, or you're forcing for the child to eat? Or some guest comes to your house, you are forcing them to eat, or you're respecting what they want? So these are some of the things. Our body skeleton, the bones, the teeth. So how is this part of this body? And issues with your leg, feet, any issues with your feet, knees, base of the spine, and your buttocks. So how is that? Because these are all the relates to the Muladhara. And any eating disorders. Some people have a lot of allergies, and they have eating disorders. And some people fall ill very, very frequently. Some people continuously manifest illness, frequent illness. So these are all the physical disorders associated with this chakra. And what to do now? What is the solution? Okay, you understand, okay, these are some of the issues, you identified it, and you know where to work on it. Now what to do? How do you work on it, and how do you integrate it? So the first thing is regular meditation. There are two aspects we will discuss in every chakra. The one is the aspect of pull, and the other is the aspect of push. So pull is like you are pulling yourself into higher consciousness. So that is meditation. The more and more you do meditation, the more you are pulling yourself, the more you are pulling your vibrations, the more you are pulling your consciousness to a greater consciousness. So that is pull. So if you want to work on yourself holistically, Without meditation, it is not going to be possible. That is regular meditation. Everyday meditation is a regular meditation. The more and more you are doing meditation regularly, the more and more you are pulling yourself up. And along with that, there is certain things which you can do, which is like push, like stop giving fears, because this is the law of karma. What you give comes back to you. The more and more you eat the food of blood, the more and more you are terrorizing the animals, you are terrorizing the birds and the fishes and butchering them and eating them. You are giving a lot of fear. And what you give comes back to you. This is a universal law. So as long as you are eating meat, you cannot balance your root chakra. So this is the Muladhara, my dear friends. This is the fundamental. If you are not ready to understand this law of karma, then you cannot work on your evolution. Impossible. Then the second point is face your fears. So this is a very, very important tool, because the first chakra is related to the energy of fear. So the more and more you face the fears, the more and more the illusion of the fear, the illusion bubble breaks up. So once the illusion bubble breaks up, so then the fear energy transforms into trust. You can try this experiment. Whatever you fear, you face it again and again and again. You face it. The more and more and more you face your fears, the more and more you realize it is just an illusion, that it is your own programming. But in reality, the fear is not there. So once the fear energy is transformed, then you start trusting life more and more. So facing the fears is very, very important if you want to overcome the fears. And also grounding yourself, because the first chakra deals with your well-being, your physical well-being. You should be always grounding yourself. What is grounding? Grounding means walking barefoot and then hugging the trees, spending time in the nature. Because the more you spend time in the nature, the more you connect to the mother earth, the more you see that how the entire creation is, how the life force is moving on the basis of trust. You see the birds, you see the birds doesn't plan for tomorrow. The bird doesn't worry. The bird doesn't sit on the tree and worry, where am I going to get the food for tomorrow? No, the bird trusts the life that tomorrow existence is going to provide food. So the very way they build the nest, who taught them how to build their homes? It is the very trust they have, and the trust activates the instincts, and that instincts helps the birds to build beautiful nest. So everything is, whatever you want to manifest in life, it has to be based on trust. If you have fear, you cannot manifest anything in life, because the first chakra is all about the physical aspect. Manifestation is all physical. What is manifestation? You want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, you want to get married. These are all physical manifestation. So how you manifest? Do you manifest with the basis of the trust, or you manifest basis on the fear? When you manifest something based on the fear, then that gives you more challenges. So when you manifest something based on the trust, then you celebrate life. So grounding yourself and connecting to nature is very, very important, my dear friends. So this is, we have 7 chakras, but this is the first chakra. So we will take some, we'll take some questions, and we will understand much more deeper. We'll consolidate it, and then we'll go to the next one. So today and tomorrow, we'll focus on the first 3 aspects of our lower 3 chakras, which is the fear energy, and the second chakra is the guilt energy, which deals with the emotions. See, the first chakra deals with all the physical survival. The second chakra deals with all your emotions. And the third chakra deals with your power, your willpower, your ego. So these are 3 important chakras one has to work on if you are, if you really want to progress spiritually. So if you're not working on this aspect, then the spiritual progress is not going to happen. So friends, let us consolidate, let us understand much more deeper through this question answer session about this first chakra, and then we go forward. So ready to take the questions, Shalini?
Yes. So, my dear friends, if someone is interested to ask some questions, you can raise your hand, or you can post it in the question answer tab.
I think today we will consolidate with this first chakra, and then tomorrow and day after we will look into the emotional. Today we are looking into the physical healing aspect. So tomorrow we'll look into the emotional healing aspect and psychological healing aspect. So that is for tomorrow. So it is very important. This is a very deep subject, and you need a lot of awareness, and you need a lot of pattern analysis, and you need to be really honest with yourself. And the more you are honest with yourself, the more you can see crystal clear. Wow, this is what I'm going through, and this is what I need to learn.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, yes, thank you, ma'am. Sir, I had like to ask that is physical survival and trust issue only localized to our root chakra, or is it that each chakra has all the four facets of our existence embedded in them, which includes physical, emotional, mental, or psychological and spiritual?
Okay.
Is it just one aspect with one chakra, or all the aspects but predominant one aspect with each chakra?
Okay, you see, each chakra is associated with a particular function, with a particular negative energy, right? So, as a whole, as a human, whenever we go through fear, we also go through emotions, we also go through power struggle. So, all the chakras are connected to each other, right? It's energy crisscrossing. So, one area of your life affecting gets affected in all the other areas of life. But because we are going through this learning process, so we are going to look into specific areas, and we are going to work for our understanding. For our understanding, we are looking at, is it the fear energy? So because we have to understand the root cause of it. Okay, we react in a certain situation. So we have to see what is the root cause. Is the root cause my fear, or is the root cause my emotions, or is there an emotional block, or is there a psychological block? Where is the block? Why am I going through this particular challenge? So to understanding this chakra system helps in understanding to identify the root cause, number one. And number two, when you know this is the fear energy, then you can straight away work on that area, right? Rather than focusing on other areas, because the other areas goes you round and round and again points down to here. So when you know this is the area you need to work on, you better focus on that. So in other words, you are being more authentic to yourself. You are not putting a mask. You are willing to remove all the mask and look what is inside you. Okay, so for your question, we understand the energy aspects, and each chakra is associated with a certain energy. So the more you start simultaneously balancing all these energies, the more the chakras comes into balance. Some people have this misunderstanding: oh, my root chakra is perfectly all right, but my I need to work on my second chakra. Like, I'm so comfortable, I feel so confident in life, but I'm a little bit emotional. I need to work on my emotional aspect. So I need to work on my second chakra, but my root chakra I know is balanced. That is absolutely wrong. If your root chakra is in balance, that means all the other chakras are also in certain balance.
Balance, yes.
Right? If your root chakra is gone, by default, every single chakra is gone.
Correct. Correct.
Right? So to answer your question very specifically, it is very important that we identify within us what is that particular energy which is affecting us.
So what I understand from what you are saying is, we have to find the core issue and then see which is the main chakra which is dealing with that core issue, and then that will have a secondary repercussions in other aspect also, because all systems are interlinked.
Naturally, correct. So you don't work on the chakra directly, but you work on the qualities.
Yes, yes, correct, correct.
Okay,
correct,
so you
correct.
cannot see the chakras. Chakras are in the etheric body. It's in the energy body. You cannot see the health or state of a chakra through the physical eyes. But the patterns, what is the patterns in your life? You can see the patterns, and because of the pattern analysis, you can identify, oh, this chakra is affected. Because of the patterns, you can able to see the patterns in your life. So through the pattern analysis, you understand what is the area you need to work on.
Correct, correct. Got it, sir. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. The next.
Thank you, Gaurav. So we have a person called Dimple. She has posted in the question answer tab. How can root chakra be excessive or deficient at the same time?
Okay, I'll give an example. One day, right? You feel a lot of fear. You feel a lot of fear and you feel like, oh, I better make sure I get the inheritance from my parents, right? Whatever the inheritance, I better plan it well. And, I have to take care of my future. I have to take care of tomorrow. So your thoughts, you see, your thoughts are based on the fear. And then you say, okay, I want to make sure that I go for the inheritance, or I have to make sure I need to take care of tomorrow, day after, the economy might happen. So I better focus on accumulating money, right? So that's one, you will think like that for a certain period of time. And then immediately you will have some problems within your family, and then you will have some quarrels. You go for the property sharing, and you want to fight with your brothers and sisters, and you want to get as much share as possible, and nothing is happening, and you feel so dejected, you feel so vexed, and you say, okay, I give up everything, I don't want anything, I better go to the forest. So you are going into both the extremes. So you are reacting in this extreme, you are reacting in that extreme. So that is an example how both can be there at the same time. But you have to see the fundamental factor is the fear. So as long as fear is there, you go to this extreme and you go to that extreme. But when you work on that fear energy, then you are coming into the balance. The more you have the trust, the more you're coming into the balance. The more you have fear, the more you are swinging into both the extremes. So it may not be immediately, but it will be like one moment you are thinking this way, the other moment you are thinking this way. But the fundamental fear remains the same.
Thank you, Mr. Pradeep. So we do have Mr. Balasubramaniam sir with us. Sir, can you please share your feedback on today's session on the 7 bodies?
Mr. Pradeep. Anyhow, it was very good. No doubt it is very clearing all the doubts that everybody has towards the chakras. Thank you, Salini. Thank you, Mr. Pradeep.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So we have Prasad sir with us. So he's a senior pyramid master and also pyramid engineer. Yeah, over to you, sir.
Hi, Pradeep.
Hello, sir.
Nice interaction session. Thank you on behalf of Pyramid Valley.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you. Being part of the Pyramid Valley, it's my joy.
Yes. It's a very nice interactive session.
Yeah.
People are also very enthusiastic to put their questions.
Yeah.
Nice sessions.
Okay, sir. I think you already heard this, right? So
Yeah.
This is an online thing.
Right. But this is right now, so more accessible to people from their own homes. Yeah. So more people can reach us.
Yes.
Physical means earlier people have to come to Pyramid Valley. So that may restrict them too. So now this is more and more programs like this will help many people from all over the world.
Yeah. So we have our friends from Switzerland and Malaysia and other parts of Europe. So yes, it's a great opportunity Pyramid Valley is giving to reach out to all the countries. And yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prasad sir. So Vijay, so Pradeep, can we go on to the next question?
Yes, Shalini.
Yes. So we have a person from Geneva, Switzerland, Nancy. So she has written, are the 7 main chakras linked or associated to her 7 bodies? I guess so, but I would like a further explanation.
Yes, in spirituality, everything is related to everything. And yes, our 7 bodies are related to our 7 chakras. Like how you master yourself in each aspect of yourself. And that is the indication of your evolution. So the 7 bodies and the 7 chakras are related.
Thank you. So we have another question from Dimple. As a child, I was fearless, and suddenly, as I have grown, my fears are very dominant. Can we develop these as an adult, as well as was it already there in our subconscious?
Okay, so again, why you are having this fear? It can either the fears can be from your childhood, or it can be from your mother's womb, or the fears can come from your past life. So wherever it comes from, there are all possibilities. You might have gone through as an adult, you have gone through a challenging situation, and that's the time the fear energy comes through. So the fear energy can come through at any point of time in your life, and even from your past lives. And You might be surprised, many people, they carry the fears from their past lives. Most of the people, they carry the fears from their past lives also. So again, coming back to your question, so once you identify, see, the problem is many people, they can't identify that they have a fear, so they put a mask. So they are not honest to them, they are not authentic towards themselves, so they put a lot of masks. So when you put a lot of mask and when you're not authentic, then there is no way you can work on it. But as long as you can identify it, as long as you know that yes, this is the area I need to work on, then 50% of the problem is already solved. So the important thing is to get identified it and to see what I need to do now. What are the steps I need to take today? The fears might come from yesterday, the fears might come from the past lives, from the childhood, doesn't matter. But today, you have only today in your life, this moment. So what you need to do this moment, what is the right thing to do? So that is the focus you need to go through.
Thank you. Thank you, Pradeep. So we have another question in the chat box from Mr. Kunal Mehta. How do we trust and manifest? Suppose if someone is going through financial crisis or any other crisis, then there is some fear. Then how can we trust and do manifest?
Okay. So in the question, you have addressed the question that there is a fear energy. So once you have addressed that there is a fear energy, then you focus on that fear energy. Like as I said, you cannot throw the fear out, but you can use the tools to transform it. So as I said, more and more meditation and more facing the fear, more and more bringing in the trust energy. See, the opposite energy of fear is trust. So the more you bring the energy of the trust into yourself, the more the energy of the fear is transformed. So as I said, three things: regular meditation, facing the fears, and connecting with the nature. So connecting, grounding yourself, connecting with the nature, grounding yourself helps you to bring in more and more trust into your being. So once you have this trust energy, then whatever you manifest has a beauty. Whatever you manifest out of joy, because there is a trust element in it. But if you manifest out of fear, then the manifestation has the energy of the fear. And even though you manifested, every single day you worry about it, every single day you fear about it. Okay, so you have an example, you have a financial crisis. Yes, you have a financial crisis. Yes, you have addressed you have a financial crisis. But why did you attract this financial crisis? What is the lesson you need to learn? So these are the things you need to question yourself. So why did you attract this financial question? Why did you attract this financial challenge? Is there a lesson to learn? Yes, of course there is a lesson to learn. Every challenge brings us an opportunity for our soul growth. Every challenge comes with a lesson. So instead of seeing the challenge as a challenge, you start to see the challenge as an opportunity to learn the lessons. So the more you see the challenge as an opportunity to learn the lessons, bringing in the trust element, the more you are willing to face the challenge, and you face the challenge in a balanced way. You don't act out of fear, but you act out of trust. So that makes a whole lot of difference.
Thank you. So can we go for the next question? And
Yes.
it is from Nina Sablok. So she has said, how to counteract the child abuse or any traumas of the past years?
Yeah, as I already spoke before, whatever happened in the past has happened, already it's happened. You just acknowledge there are certain incidents which happened in the past, and because of that, you are going through this. So there is no judgment. Happened, past is past. For example, if your parents has abused you, your parents are the victims of their own past. So you have that compassion, you have that understanding. Yes, I'm going through a fear, but why am I going through a fear? Because yes, I've gone through some challenges. Because of the challenges, I'm like this. So this very acknowledgement helps you to look beyond the problem. And what is in your hands today? What you need to do today? And why did you choose those kind of parents? Why did you choose those kind of childhood? Because everything happens for a reason. So what is the lesson to learn from that experience? So instead of avoiding it, instead of overlooking it, you acknowledge it, you accept it, and you focus on, yes, I have gone through this, and yes, I have planned it before I am born. It is my own planning. I have planned it, and everything happens for a reason, and whatever happened for good. So now what can I do now? So focus on today, meditate, trust, and try to learn the lessons. And you see, the identification process happens with more and more awareness. The more you have, the more you increase your awareness level. See, when you do meditation, meditation gives you energy and awareness. See, you close your eyes and observe the breath. What is happening? For 1 hour, you cut the thoughts, come back to the breath, come back to the breath, observe the breath, observe the breath. So for 1 hour, you are observing the breath. So what is happening? Your awareness on your breath is increasing. So for that 1 hour, your awareness is increasing on your breath. So this exercise of this awareness exercise, this 1 hour of meditation helps you to be aware rest of the 23 hours. So the more and more you do meditation regularly, the more your awareness increases. The more your awareness increases, your ability to identify the root cause also increases. And also in meditation, you get cosmic energy. With more and more energy, you have the energy to face all the problems, to process it, to handle it. Like we have a lot of fears. How do we handle the fears? To face the fears, you want to face the fears. To face the fears, you need energy. Facing the fears means processing. After identifying the fear, facing the fear is processing. So to face the fears, you need a lot of energy. Without energy, you cannot face your fears. So to face the fears, you need lot of cosmic energy, and you get those cosmic energy in meditation. So meditation gives you awareness and meditation gives you energy. So with awareness and with energy, you are able to process it. And again, the more and more you understand the bigger picture of life and you understand everything happens for a reason and there is no judgments, you are willing to learn the lessons and you are in a space of stillness and you become a pure witness. In that witness consciousness, you know exactly what is the lesson you need to learn. Nobody will tell you what is the lesson you need to learn. It is your own consciousness which is going to speak. It doesn't speak through words, but it speaks through knowing. You know that this is the lesson to learn. And to know that you need to be in a stillness consciousness. So these things, these are the 3 stages which happens, my dear friends. So that's why I said pull is very, very important. Without pull, without meditation, you cannot work on it. Along with pull, a proper understanding of it, the tools to push it helps. The push helps the pull. Without the pull, the push is of no use. Okay.
This was a wonderful explanation. So, my dear friends, of course, we are a little delayed in time, but still, we'll close up the session in another 10 minutes because a lot of the people are waiting with the questions. So, yeah. Vishwanath, you can please on your mic. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello, Pradeep, sir.
Yes.
So I was clearly able to identify like where I have a issue. That was I can clearly able to identify that there was a first chakra energy deficient. I was able to relate to most of the points. Like but like I've been practicing meditation for a long while, but still sometimes I get I think that like have chosen these challenges. That's the reason I'm facing it, or is it also from my karma? So can you give clarity about this? And also
one
like
question at
once
a time.
we
One question at a time, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you are asking, is it because of the karma or is it because you have chosen? So here the beauty is in spirituality, everything is linked with everything. So the challenges you chose before you are born, the challenges you chose, you planned, is depending on your karma. So because of your karmic baggage, see, karma is a tool to learn lessons. Karma is not a punishment. So karma is a tool to learn lessons. So because you have a certain karma, and because of that karma, you have chosen certain lessons, and because of that, you have chosen certain challenges, and because of that certain challenges, you are going to learn the lessons. So as you are learning the lessons, you are also neutralizing your karma. The more you learn the lessons, the more you come out of the karmic chains of the karma.
And like I've been practicing meditation for a while now, but still I'm not able. I identified the issue. So like where is the lack and how to overcome the deficient energy? So can you just guide a little about that, sir?
I again the same explanation. So the more you see, you have to have, because it deals with the first chakra, the fear is something which deals with the root chakra. So you have to be grounded, you have to be balanced, right? You have to be in the middle path. And going too much into spirituality creates expectations. Like you say, oh, I'm doing 8 hours meditation per day, I'm meditating for the last 3 hours. That creates an expectation, and that creates a spiritual ego. So what you do has to be balanced. Yes, you are doing meditation, but because of that meditation, is there a progress in life? So you have to have the benchmark. See, spirituality without progress in the day-to-day life is of no use. So if you are meditating, so that means your awareness is increasing. Are you using that awareness in your day-to-day life? You are just simply meditating and you are not using that awareness in your day-to-day life, then meditation doesn't help much, right? So there should be a balance. So more and more meditation and more being aware in your day-to-day life. Every moment you have to be aware. Every challenge you go through, you have to be aware. Every incident in your life, you have to be aware. So that awareness, that mindfulness helps you to integrate your lessons with the challenge. The moment you integrate the lessons with the challenge, then the challenge is no more a challenge. Then you have gratitude towards the challenge. The challenge doesn't appear to be like a challenge to you. You feel like gratitude. Oh, because of this, I'm no more the same person. Because of this particular challenge, I become evolved. I've grown. So there is a vast happiness in your being that you are no more the same person. You are an evolved person. So that integration part is very important.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I hope I answered your question. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So thank you, Vishwa, for the question. So, my dear friends, there's just a piece of information to be shared. And today evening, and we have Susan M. Griff Jones, who is going to speak about the Rainbow Bridge. So every Saturday between 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, we are having Global Master who comes to the Pyramid Valley platform and share their wisdom. So today we have Susan Griff from UK, and who is going to speak about the Rainbow Bridge. And the Zoom link is different. I just posted in the chat box. And tomorrow morning, again at 10 a.m., we will be having Pradeep's session. But this is a different link, and that is a different link. Just a piece of information so that you don't get confused. So now we can again proceed with the question answer session. So we have Mr. Nimesh Gowdaji. Yeah, sir, please on your mic. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sir, negativity does not goes what to do by meditation also.
So if
comes
you feel
that only. Continues, it comes negativity
okay.
only.
So I think this is a common question people have. I'm meditating, but still I'm feeling negative. You see, let us relate to the chakras, right? Let us relate to the fear energy. So it is as good as asking, sir, I'm meditating, but still I'm having fear energy. What to do? So we have to understand the fears do exist. The fears do exist for all the people. The fears exist. But what is the difference? How you react to the fear. For a person who has balanced his root chakra, the fears are there, but he is not affected with the fears. Okay. Similarly, the negative energies are there. Negative energies are there around us, right? We walk out, sometimes the energies are not our own energies, but sometimes we pick it from outside. So the chakras are organizing centers. What does an organizer do? He receives energy, he processes the energy, he transmutes the energy, right? So this is how the chakras work. So when there is a negativity outside, if the chakra is not in balance, so you pick up that negativity. But if your chakra is in balance, even though there is negativity from outside, you won't pick it up, you won't process it, you won't get affected with that. So yes, the fears do exist, but how you are going to handle the fears represents your own spiritual evolution. Yes, the negativity is there, but what are you going to do with your negativity? That is in your hands. How you handle your negativity is in your hands. And if you are getting affected, that means you have to work on yourself. You cannot I'm just telling as an example. Don't take it personally.
Yeah,
You say, yes, I'm doing meditation, I'm reading the books, but still I'm going through a lot of negativity. Yes, you accept that, yes, you are going through that negativity. So this very acceptance helps you not to be in the spiritual ego. Like you will not have labels in your mind that I'm a senior meditator, I'm this, I'm that. You will not have labels, you will become more humble. So being authentic and being acknowledging that, yes, you are going through certain negativity, with that acknowledgement, you know what to do. So with that comes the spiritual humbleness. Yes, I've been meditating, but still the negativity is coming because you don't know what is in your Sanchita karma. You don't know what is the karmic baggage from your Sanchita from all your past lives. So once you process your prarabdha, the more and more you do meditation, the more you will finish off the prarabdha karma. The karma which you bring into this present life is the prarabdha karma. So after you finish the prarabdha karma, you will start picking from your Sanchita, from your reservoir. So you will start working on your Sanchita karma from your past life's karma. And sometimes when you're working on your past life karmas, you feel like, oh, I've been meditating and I've been doing a lot of spiritual service. I'm doing everything possible good, but still, why am I going through that? No, you should not judge yourself. There is a bigger picture. You are processing your Sanchita. It's still a work in progress. So without going through any judgment, you just look into what is the task ahead. What is the task in front of you? Yes, you are feeling negative, even though you've been meditating for a long time. Doesn't matter. Have the understanding you are working on your Sanchita karma. And then still work on your negative energy and try to transform that energy. And that is the way the enlightenment happens.
So, my dear friends, surely we can continue this in the next session. And as he said, it is just only about the basic chakras, and we do have 7 chakras and 7 bodies as we just went on to the fundamentals. So surely we will be continuing the session too. So I feel you people are very interested with all these sessions and the presentation and explaining it in a scientific way. So we would like to announce that Mr. Pradeep is going to be with us on every month. So he is going to speak to us on different spiritual discussions and different spiritual topics. So he is there with us every month. So we'll keep you posted about the different sessions. So I am also seeing a lot of people posting the comments as excellent and Korean and interesting. So we are ending the session now, and please stay tuned with us. Thank you, everyone.